Hey, you guys. Thank y'all so much for coming out to Stir the Pot with LucyLou. This is episode 3. Yes, you already know that Lucy got some hot topics for you guys tonight, so I hope you guys are ready. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the YouTube, VRU.life, so that you can check out episode 2 and episode 1. All right? Without further ado, let's get this show going, you guys. LucyLou.
Welcome back to Stir the Pot with Lucy Lou. I'm your host, Lucy Lou. Welcome, guys. Get comfortable. All right, so we have so much to talk about today. I'm excited about today. We missed last week because we were very busy, a lot of things going on. But today, I really just want to talk and have a conversation. There's so much that's been going on in the news, on the socials, with celebrities, with the world in general. And before we start the show, I just want to say again, free Palestine, free the Congo, free Sudan, free Haiti, free all the oppressed countries out there. We are seriously fighting oppression from colonization, from capitalism, from straight up slavery and genocide going on in this world. And we just need to free all the oppression that's going on. And there is no freedom. We are not free unless everyone is free. And I just want to say that again, free Palestine. Okay, so there is a lot of doo doo going on in the celebrity world, and it's so crazy how a lot of this is happening. I know this. Basically, this is the time of Aquarius where the truth is coming to light. All the things that were hidden in the dark is coming to light. Not everything has been hidden. There has been a little, like, things have been known, but we kind of just look away from it and not pay attention. But now we have no choice but to pay attention to what's going on. So we all have heard about what's been going on with Keke Palmer and her baby daddy, absolutely atrocious and ghetto. We have like been watching this happen. It was like not our cousin Kiki, not her. Like everybody was really against the relationship. Even Steve Harvey told her about it. But that's not the point. The point is her coming out and filing a lawsuit for against her baby dad because of straight up abuse. Like she wants full custody of their baby because he's been putting on his hands on her. She submitted to the courts evidence of him literally throwing her across the room, and the world was not shocked by this. What is shocking is a lot of people's reaction to it. People are blaming her for being tossed across the room, and it's almost like this thing where people want to say that, oh, the reason why he's acting like this is because he's jealous of her. He's jealous of her career. She's making money. She's paying for everything, and it's like, oh, he feels emasculated. For me, I think that's all BS. If a man is going to be abusive, he's abusive. It doesn't matter where he is in life. If he's a shitty person, he's just a shit person all around. So I don't like the idea of giving people excuses for their abuse. If you, because I personally, it's just like how when somebody is drunk and they say some racist ish, oh, I was inebriated, I was drunk, and I said some racist crap, and that's not who I am. Like, I've been drunk before, and I've never been racist, anti-Semitic, sexist. Like, I've never been that. So you are that deep down inside. It doesn't take liquor to make you be who you are. If he was abusive, he was always going to be abusive, and we know that because of his brother. His brother admitted that that's who he is. But anyways, free Kiki from domestic abuse, straight up. So to my audience, to my audience, please let me know what you think about this whole Kiki situation and her baby dad's. Like, what is your genuine thought about this situation?
Well, it's been a roller coaster with Kiki. You know what I mean? Like, when the first came out, I didn't know too much about their issues in a relationship before the whole situation when Usher thing happened. And then I start seeing all the information of, I guess, previous things that's happened with him and what he did with the baby mama before her and all that. And like making that, the baby mama that he had before he made her have an abortion and all that or whatever. So I didn't even know about any of that stuff until the Usher situation happened, and I started hearing all this other stuff. But you know, when it first happened with the Usher situation, I was in agreement with what Kiki's decision was, because I didn't like if he didn't like what she did or what she was wearing or whatever, that could have been talked about in private. But to put it like out on social media, talking about her that way and all that, he deserved to get left for that, because that was unnecessary. It's like you could be upset and not agreeing of what your girl's doing, but talk to her in private about it. Don't put her on blast on the internet or shame her. I didn't agree with that part.
If y'all don't understand, if y'all don't know what J Bay is talking about, she's referring to Kiki. I think it was her birthday. Kiki and
Yeah.
her homegirls decided to go to an Usher concert down in Vegas, and they was having a good time. She was wearing a sexy outfit. She had some. She looked really nice in the outfit. She just had a baby, and she was feeling herself. Like everybody, the whole world loves her. Have been complimenting her how great she looks, just having a baby, and
Mhm.
how she bounced back so quickly. So as she's feeling herself, instead of going online and praising the mother of his child, he wants to publicly shame her and be like, "Oh, it's the outfit for me. You're a mother though." Like it's so crazy. Like it just shows absolute disrespect. For me, it was an act of violence to publicly chastise your baby mom when you had her number and you could have texted her about the outfit. You could have
So
told her that
or
you
wait
didn't
till you
like it.
guys saw each other in person or something. Like it's
Exactly.
understandable
Wait.
that why he got upset, of course, but
I
talk
could
to her in private.
understand. I
Yeah,
could understand if you don't like what she was wearing, but to go publicly and embarrass her like that, especially because we know
and
Kiki to
say,
be a
oh, she's
very,
a mother and all that, like
she
trying
is
to
a
shame
private
her.
person in general. She's already a private
Mm-hmm.
person. She keeps everything to herself. So for you to publicly go on the internet, the and for you to go on the internet and not only embarrass your baby mom but your boss. Let's be real, he's paying his bills. She basically, he's the one who's in control of her social media. He takes the pictures of her and all of that and posts it online. So he's taken risque pictures of her before. It's not the first time that we've seen her in
Oh
that light.
yeah,
And for you to do that, it just shows that you just want to embarrass her because you don't like the fact that the light is on her. You are a mediocre man and you should be ashamed of yourself. That is a mother of your child.
right. Because he did post a video before. He posted a video before of her twerking after she had the baby. He posted it. But then
Ex-
later, when he want to go and say, "Oh, she's a mother, she shouldn't be like," do you remember what you just posted of her before? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, look how thick she is now, and this and that. Like, pretty much putting her out in the showcase to show the world how thick she got after she got a baby and her twerking and stuff. But
But
then
at
all
the
of a sudden, it's not
same
okay.
time, Kiki needs to calm down. Okay?
It's like I
She
get
is a
it. It's
mother
okay
now.
when he posted it
Okay?
because
You got
you know
another
it's like
baby
his
human
approval
being
or
in your belly
whatever.
now.
But
It's
with her
time for
just
you to
going on her
mature.
own and doing it, and then Usher's getting she's getting attention
You
from Usher
can't be
now. That's what made
outside
him
twerking
upset.
and show your booty cheeks out in public in front of
He
Usher.
Anyways,
posted
let's
that.
be honest. Let's be honest. If you're the
What
one
the
who's
fuck?
posting your baby mom on
He
the
posted it.
internet,
Yeah.
scantily clad, and you had no issue with it, and you want to publicly shame her, I feel like it's because he felt embarrassed. He felt jealous, and he was not jealous
It's
of
because she
her.
got another
He
man's
wasn't jealous of
attention.
her. He wasn't. What he was embarrassed about, or he was embarrassed that basically Usher seemed to be too comfortable with his baby mom. His ego was being affected by it, and he wanted to put her in a place. He couldn't step up to Usher because niggas like this are afraid of other men. He couldn't step up to Usher and be like, "Yo, I felt like that was really inappropriate the way you was all up on my girl." He couldn't do that. He couldn't step in front of another man. He wanted to do that to another woman. That just shows the caliber of a human being that he is. He is
Mm.
able and willing to step in front of a woman and chastise her and bully her, but he won't step in front of another man, a grown ass man at that. Let's just call let's just call it what
Right,
it
because she
is.
didn't tell Usher to come up to her. The hell? Like I swear, I promise you, I get it on his viewpoint. You know, of course, I know he got jealous because Usher got her attention. I get it. You can still talk to her about it in
No, not
private.
Usher got
Talk to her in
attention.
private.
Kiki got attention.
No, that's what I mean. Usher.
Unnecessary.
No,
All
I
right?
mean Kiki
All
got
eyes is
Usher's
on my
attention.
girl when it's
Right.
not supposed to be. It's only my eyes only. Enough
Last
for
thing I want to
Usher.
talk about,
I
Kiki, the
didn't want
last
you to
thing I
go
want to
outside
say,
and dress like that for another nigga to come on you and sing to you and get you all wet and shit like that. I'm supposed to do that shit.
the last
The
thing I
fuck?
want to say
Who
about
are
Kiki,
you to
Jewel,
go
Listen.
to
Lucy don't want to
an
hear your
Usher
words.
concert dressing like that with my baby inside that body.
No, the
And
baby was
that's
not inside her at that
It was
time.
already
pregnant though.
born. It was already
No, she
born.
wasn't
Oh.
pregnant. The
Oh,
baby
well,
was
all
like
right
months
then.
old
Well,
See, now you
already.
don't even know the story. Anyways, like I was saying, the last thing I want to say about Keke is
Come back,
when it
Jewel.
was her birthday, and when it was her birthday, we saw her with the man again, and everybody was like, "What? Of course she's gonna take her baby daddy back. Nobody's against that, or I'm not against it because I know a lot of bitches out there. They talking mad shit about their niggas online, but they gonna be with that nigga next week. So I don't even be like, oh, she took that man back. You want your man back? You want your man back. But the thing about it is, it was her birthday, and they went to dinner, and she was on live, I think. And all she wanted to do was for him to show her some love, just to tell her how much he appreciates her and what he loves about her. And he had the hardest time in the world just to compliment her. It just showed me how much he really hates her because it was like pulling teeth with him just to get him to say something nice. He just like, oh, you're a wonderful being. You're the best being in my life. And I'm like, what's all this being shit? She is the mother of your
she's a
child,
human
and
being.
he could not for the life of
So
him
he
tell
can't. He
him
Y'all
has an
that
asking
issue
he
for too
loves
compliment.
her.
much.
So
He
he has
What
an
couldn't
more do
tell
you
issue.
her.
want from him?
So
He
he has
couldn't
an
say
issue
anything
complimenting his
nice.
own girl.
I mean, him being your man, that's enough. What more do you want him
No,
to say?
no. Okay, I'm gonna stop
No.
that right there. Okay, number one, that's the
He's trying
thing.
not to. He's trying to be
No
gender
matter how long you've
neutral.
been with a
He's
girl,
not
you
trying to
need
be
to
gender
still
specific.
compliment when you see, you know what
There
I'm
is
saying? Same
no
vice versa. Even no matter how long you've been with your man, still compliment once in a while how good he looks or whatever. It
exactly.
don't matter.
That's a thing that a lot of people don't understand, that the work is not done in the relationship once you're in it. Like marriage is not the goal. Like being a boyfriend and girlfriend is not the goal. You got to keep going. There's maintenance needs to be done in a relationship. And all she wanted was the man to say something nice. Like why is it so
Oh,
hard for
that's why
you to
she made
fucking
that whole
say
music video
something nice
about
to
she felt
the
ungorgeous.
woman who just gave birth to your child? Like how,
So you
why is
saying
that
he
so
never
hard
did
for
anything
you?
nice though? He never
It's
did
not
anything
about
nice.
doing.
He got her pregnant. You got a son now or a daughter. You got a
That
baby
don't
now.
mean nothing. Verbal
What do you
stuff still
mean?
matters.
Okay, let's be real. If we're gonna be stirring the pot, let's be real. I just want to say something. I don't think anybody has said that. I think that he got her pregnant to make her sit down. I think that he got her pregnant because he's jealous of her career and he knows that he will never amount to her. So
No,
he
he
thinks
got her.
that big. Hold on.
It
He
sounds like a
she
jealous man.
he thinks
Nah,
that getting
because
her pregnant will
Mm-hmm.
make her lose her value
nah,
as
cause she
a
needs to
woman,
sit down.
and that's what a lot of niggas do. They basically use pregnancy as a form of abuse to get you to lower your value into the world.
First of all, what's his
He don't
background? Like,
have a
what's his
job. He's like
We
Tommy
don't
from
know.
Martin.
no,
He
no,
got
That
no. I'm saying
nigga
like,
ain't
pregnant.
got no job.
what's his culture? Like, what's his ethnicity?
Whatever he is, a light skinned nigga, and that's already a
Yeah,
problem
but he could
already.
be a Muslim or something.
Wait.
Maybe that's part of the belief. Like, she needs to sit down, have a
But
baby, have a
anyways,
family. But okay,
that's
now
all
you're a
I
mother
wanted to
now.
say about. I said what I said about this man, and I said what I said
I
about
think
the
Pocky had
Kiki and the
something
whole
to say too.
situation.
Oh,
And I really hope that she leaves that man alone because all he's gonna do is ruin her career because there's just too much drama. She's already good at what she does. She's very talented, and she keeps a bag, like she say. So she can't let a man like him destroy her image. And that's all I gotta say. So let's move on to the highlight of the week. Absolutely insane is the whole Cassie and Diddy
he
situation.
didn't do it.
No, it's Diddy and Cassie. Diddy and
Boy, if
Cassie.
you don't shut up.
Diddy and
Yeah,
Cassie,
he
that
did that
story.
shit. He did it. He paid
that.
too
He's
quick.
stressing. They caught him on camera stressing in 4K.
He didn't do it. What did he do?
Okay, so here's a story of Diddy and Cassie. So let's start off from the beginning. In the mid 2000s, Diddy and Cassie met after he Kim Porter done left him. For years, Diddy was abusing Kim Porter, and she even said herself, I think it was in a story or was an interview that she had, where she's like, she waited until Diddy went on vacation somewhere, and she packed her kids, a whole house, and everything, and she just dipped on him. And they were basically like, oh, why did you want to do it like that? She tried to play it off to make it seem like she just wanted to be dramatic, but she knows damn well she was afraid of that nigga because they asked her, why didn't you do it when he was around? She's like, oh, do you think he would actually let me leave? Meaning he wouldn't fucking let her leave. He would have killed her. And when she left, not too long after that, what happened to Kim? What happened to Kim?
Yeah, she
She
died.
died.
All right then. Right after that, he met 19-year-old Cassie. And the way he was able to reel her in was, promising her a music career because she was an inspired singer. So when they got together, it was more like a boyfriend girlfriend business type of thing. Like he was her employer, promised her a 10 album contract, and she was supposed to make this music, and this is what's supposed to do. I don't know about you, but for me, let's be for real, Cassie don't have a 10 album sort of vocals. She don't have the charisma and the talent for 10 albums. So I felt like he used that in order to reel her in as an artist, because if you think about it, Cassie only got one album and you could only remember one song from that album. Let's be honest.
That is true. I think what messed her up too is when she performed the One Assistant Park and she bombed that performance. It was very bad. And I think that might have messed her up too because her live performance was really, really bad. She said she was super nervous, so she didn't sing very well on her live
Right.
performance.
Right. So
That
that's
might have been,
basically
yeah.
that's the beginning of their relationship. So the headlines are basically Cassie is suing Diddy because of basically of the sex trafficking, the human trafficking and prostitution he got her doing throughout their 13 years or 10 or 13 years that they were together. And the headlines were saying, oh, she's suing him for $30 million. But one thing that I noticed is niggas don't know how to read. She never said any dollar amount at all. When, like, if you look at the lawsuit, there was no dollar amount. The black media, like, what is it called, the Shade Room and all of that, they're the ones who said the number amount because they heard Diddy and his lawyers talking, and then they just said the number 30, so they ran with that shit. She never actually said $30 million. So the lawsuit comes in, and she is saying the way he was treating her all of these years. He was raping her, he was beating her, he was selling her to other prostitutes. He would make her search online for big black C's, and he would fly these dudes out to perform sexual acts on her. He was saying that he made her into a drug addict, that he forced her to do drugs and forced her to lie to her doctors to get drugs for him. Like, it was so much stuff going on, so many things going on. He would play with her mind. Again, people would like to say, oh, you should have known better. Why didn't you leave? And it's like, y'all don't understand what narcissistic abuse is. Y'all don't know what emotional abuse is. Y'all don't understand what abuse is. So you think that a 19-year-old girl isn't susceptible to brainwashing. And that's exactly what happened to her. Everybody knows that iconic shaved head that Cassie had. And all the girlies and all the aunties had that haircut. That haircut came from abuse.
But
He told her to get that haircut.
but where's the parents at though?
She was 19 years old, sir. And what he did, what abusers do, they like to isolate you from your family. Every time she wanted to leave, he would get his goons to come wrangle her back to remind, and would have his lawyers calling her because remember, she has a contract with him. So she's not just suing her ex-boyfriend like everybody want to think. She's suing her boss. She's suing the entity that employed her. So if she sues him, everything, and if he denies it, because defamation in like California and New York, those things are easy to win, to fight. Like, for example, the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case, she was saying all types of stuff that he was doing to her, and he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna settle this, but she kept talking shit, so she kept defaming his name. So what he did is take her to court to clear his name. If Diddy didn't fucking do it, then why did he settle it so quickly? Why is he so quick to write a check and get it out of the way? Why? Because if he denied it, there would have to be discovery. And you would have to get everybody who knew what was going on. The makeup artists, the assistants, the nannies, even 50 Cent knew what was up. All the celebrities knew what was happening. They talked about it on Twitter. There's archives of this stuff happening. People know what Diddy is. They would even tell people, hey, stay away from those parties. They knew exactly who they're talking about. So he settled it very quickly, faster than I've ever seen in my life, only because when Discovery came out, they would see what's up. Hey,
Yeah.
Tiki Saki.
Hey, what's up, Lucy?
Oh, sorry,
Yeah, he
Taki
been
Saki,
to.
my bad.
No, you good. You good. You good. even add on top of that, they even pulled out a video of Justin Bieber and Diddy, and he kept asking like, "Yo, why don't you ever hang out with me anymore?" And Justin Bieber was very
Mhm.
visibly comfortable as a child.
Mhm.
I feel like this man has been throwing red flags about some suspicious shit that he's been doing for a very long time in the
He did
industry.
the same thing with the game.
A lot of people is creeped out by him. It's just like there's too much
Mhm.
such stuff coming out with him, and he's always doing the most. Like I think it's finally good that it caught up to him. But also to add on to that, there was a some lady was doing some fortune telling stuff, and she had
Oh, I
predicted
saw
that this
that.
was gonna come
Mhm.
out, and he was gonna have some shit rain on him. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, apparently there was a psychic a couple years ago, I think, who had a premonition of this. Like she foretold like this when it came out. She basically told that Kim Porter, wherever she is, she's basically in the works making this happen. And again, whatever happened in the dark will come to light. And it's just amazing how people, especially poor people, I mean, I'm not talking about poor people, I'm talking about us poor people who are not in the celebrity field or world, who are so quick to defend an abuser. It never ceases to amaze me how much they like to discredit victims. They were like, "Oh, why are you waiting all this time to say something? Why couldn't you just say something
Yeah,
when
like
it first happened?"
why waited from 1991 all the way to now to say something?
And
Again,
this is where a lack of empathy and a lack of knowledge comes
absolutely,
to play. And I feel like there's a lot of emotional intelligence missing there as well. And when you're lacking those kind
absolutely,
of things, you're not gonna be able to put two and two together why people are like scared to come forward. Because at the end of the day, I mean, those people go through shock and they could be scared and
hmm
like they maybe even have history of something like this going happening to them and nobody's ever believed them. So what's the point of speaking up? So it kind of just sucks. Like it's kind of like you got everything kind of backed against you, and you know on top of that that the system doesn't help you either. It's kind of
especially
like
when you are
everybody's
a
against you
woman,
for even speaking up.
and when you are a black woman at that, the
Oh
system
yeah.
absolutely works against you. And it again, like she was saying, there's a lack of emotional intelligence. And let's be real, we all know what these celebrities do. And we all know their money and their power allows them to use people freely. It's not like the state of New York didn't know what he was doing. It's not like every entity that he passes through don't know what he's doing. All of them go to these parties. All of them saw what's happening. They see what's happening, but everybody keep their mouth shut because they are afraid of him. And oh, why did you, Cassie, why did you wait so long to say that? Abuse is something, one of the hardest things a person ever have to deal with, especially when it comes to that magnitude of abuse that she dealt with since she was 19 years old. It's textbooked the way his abuse worked. Is with the beginning with the love bombing and the gift giving and making you feel like you're the only girl in the world, and making these promises that he's gonna make you a star and he's gonna give her all the things and she's gonna be this big star. And then when he finally gets this 19-year-old girl in his clutches, isolates her from her entire family, removes her ability to do anything for herself, being stalked and tracked every step that she makes. There's nothing that she does that he doesn't know about. It is hard for a 19-year-old girl to get out of that. And it is said, scientifically, it said the age you are when abuse the age you are when abuse start is the age you will continue to be mentally, because that's where you become emotionally stunted. So basically, she has a mentality of a 19-year-old girl who's being abused, unless this guy got her when he was 38 years old. He was 38 when he got this 19-year-old girl. So you can't say that she knew what she was doing when she was only a child. You don't stop being a child because you're legally an adult. It is not how it worked mentally. Another thing I want to say, if this man felt like she was lying on his name, she was defaming him, and she was wanting to hurt him and his company, he would immediately file a countersuit. He would immediately put out a statement and say it wasn't true. Within 24 hours, he signed a check And I heard them. They say they made her sign an NDA. No person would just freely just give their money like that after somebody done lied on their name. That's not gonna happen. That wouldn't happen. If somebody lied on me and I know it's not true, I will move hell in heaven to make sure that my name has been cleared. He did that shit. A lot of these rappers been coming out, and they're always, none of them are saying, "Oh, he didn't do that shit." They're just basically like, going around it and making it seem like, oh, like, oh man, like they're not really saying, "Oh, Diddy didn't do that." They know they fucking did that. What they're afraid of, what they're really afraid of, is her winning a criminal case against him, because them themselves, and let's be real, this is stirring the pot with Lucy. I feel like any person who feel like she did this for money is either a rapist or a rape sympathizer. Let's just be real. You are either a rapist or a rape sympathizer, because after all these years, after proof of what she's been going through, all the stories of the women, of the people coming out, when it comes to Harvey Weinstein, when it comes to R. Kelly, when it comes to Bill Cosby, all of these women have all of these, the proof of what's been going on and what they've been doing, and all these people, oh, they're after money, is because you are a rapist yourself, or you are a sympathizer, and you got to grapple with that. For someone who tell you that this shit has been happening to them, and instead of you saying, this should not happen, this is bad, this is not good, and I hope that you get reparations, and you get the justice that you deserve. If you don't think that way, then you are a rapist yourself or a rape sympathizer. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yep, I hear you. Yep, yep. You know what? I want to add something else too. I feel like Homeboy really settled fast too, because not only, because all the stuff he did to her, but also because of the fact that he was an abuser, he also probably did some strange stuff in front of her too.
You
That
don't want
he
her
would think that
talking.
because she's scared of him, she would never tell nobody. So she knows a lot of dark secrets about him.
Right.
Absolutely. She knows a lot of dark things about him that he doesn't want to come to light. And a lot of people saying that, I mean, a lot of people have been saying that Diddy is into some freaky shit. Again, he would
Mm-hmm.
have her look on the internet looking for male prostitutes. He would fly them out from wherever they come from, and he would record them having, she would get drugged up, and he would record them having sex. And he would sit there on
Horrible.
some
I've
weird
heard he's been with men too. Like
voyeurism,
he really likes men.
I mean,
on some weird voyeurism thing, and you're sitting there watching
but
your girl getting being
Jules like fuck.
having sex with this strange man. You can't tell me. And then they're saying, oh, he was masturbating while watching
Yeah.
this happen.
Oh,
You cannot tell me that he wasn't participating. he
I
was
mean,
either he was either being bended over, or he was doing the bending.
yeah, but
Let's just be real.
all right,
that's what
but
his
what's
past security, his personal security guard came out saying a lot of stuff about him being in the room with Ja Rule and buying butt plugs, and there's a lot of stuff that's come out that he's been with men, and he just he likes men basically is what's
The
been
thing
coming
about it
out.
is, it's not even a shame of a sex kink. It's not even your
Right,
sexual
just be real, live
orientation.
your truth.
I
it's
about to
it's not
say?
even that. The thing about it is, with
What's wrong with him?
the black community, we are more likely to chastise a LGBTQ person than a rapist. Let's just be real. Y'all want to sweep a rapist under the carpet, but y'all want to put a gay person in the forefront to chastise them. Let's be real about the black community. We are messed up when it comes to this shit. Y'all let these rapists run rampant in our community, and y'all don't want to do nothing but let a child be gay. It's a problem. Y'all need to fix that.
Mm.
Nah, he gonna take him under for both. What the fuck?
But
It
anyways,
don't got nothing to do
anyways,
with. It's not even nothing to do with him being gay. But I feel like he
that's
don't
my
want
whole
people to
point. It
know
has
that. He's
nothing to
under.
do with him being
Right, it has
gay.
nothing to do with that.
I
He's
don't
in the
care if you're
closet with it.
gay,
Yeah,
but
he's
the
in the
fact that
closet with it, and he don't want nobody to know.
you
So,
use your
you know what I'm
sexuality, and you
saying?
use your sexual deviancy to abuse another person. Like, you could be into shit, but to coerce a 19-year-old girl to do some shit like that, to coerce her using money and her career and all her
Yeah,
and
that's the wrong
everything,
part.
dangle
Right.
all of this in front of her face to get her to be your sex slave. Ultimately, that's what she was, his sex slave. It's really fucked up. and he was doing this shit for her for 10 plus years.
It would never been that
Now,
long for
I
me,
don't
but I
know.
feel you.
People was like, oh, why wasn't it a criminal case? Why is it civil? Civil means money. She's after the money and blah, blah, blah. My thoughts on that, there is a statute of limitations when it comes to reporting of abuse and stuff like that. And with the New York passed this law, was basically had this thing called um adult survivors it's called Adult Survivors Act, where they for adults who are finally able to come out and talk about their abuse that they've experienced, they give them a time frame to do that. Now, um Cassie's statute of the limitation for her abuse to report it was coming up right at Thanksgiving. So basically, right after, right the day before she couldn't do it anymore, she went in and filed that lawsuit. And me being a survivor of rape and all that stuff, I find I could understand why it took her so long to do it, because it takes a lot of, you don't know what you're going through mentally, emotionally, physically, the anguish, the pain that you have to go through, and you have to grapple with the fact that this thing happened to you in the first place. Like, for a long time, you're even in shock that this thing happened to you. How your
Right,
body
and
was.
then right, and then at the same time, people may have shame for the decisions that they made to allow that to happen. So it's like some people are also afraid to speak up because of how that may make them look under the light and all that too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's also something that you know I feel like comes
Mm-hmm.
in a big factor of why certain things like
Right.
that wouldn't be said. It'd be like, well, you were involved. You know what I'm saying?
Right, which is
But
so crazy because, like,
hmm
not only is the world chastising you and making you feel bad about what happened to you, you're doing it to yourself. You're beating yourself up. Like, how could you let this happen to yourself? But we have
right,
to
like
continuously
people are gonna think I'm
remind
stupid and this and that.
survivors that you did nothing wrong. This is not your fault.
Right.
And it's okay. No matter how long it took you to tell your story, is as long as it took you to tell your story. Like, there it shouldn't be any statute of limitation for trauma. There shouldn't be no time limit where you could say something, because you
Right.
will never heal from this. Like, a person who is a survivor of these heinous acts, you will never truly heal from it. You will, like she said, she will spend the rest of her life healing from this. No matter how
Right.
much money she get, no matter if he goes to jail for this, it will she will never feel better about it. She will never feel vindicated. Even
Right.
if somebody shot your abuser dead, you still wouldn't feel vindicated, because you still have to deal with that abuse, the memory of it. You constantly have to fight through it. So I feel like she deserves more than $30 million. If he's always bragging about him being a billionaire, he got it. He owes her. I feel like he should give her more. She should have gotten more for that,
Right.
because she had to deal with that for the rest of her life. And I
hmm
feel like people who are dealing with abuse, you may not always have the ability to speak out and reach out to someone. It takes a lot of work, and I know that there are organizations out there who are working hard to help survivors of abuse. And it's a really great thing, because a lot of times you could go to court to fight against your abuser and you end up losing, and there's so much things that happens in that process. So there's organizations out there. If you got to look into your state and what your state does to help you when it comes to, like, medical needs and monetary needs and safety. Like, look into your local state and how they do and the programs that they offer for safety and against abuse. So I wanted to talk about the these behaviors that we've been noticing. Like, it's been coming out, the abuse that these men have been afflicting on women all these years are finally coming out. It's just like man after man after man after man after man. And women who have experienced this, and there's millions of us who've experienced this sort of abuse, saw it a mile away and would talk about it. And it's always swept under the rug. It's almost like this thing where when people are experiencing abuse and the people around you see the abuse happening, and they keep their mouth shut, it could be one of the most loneliest feelings to ever have. as a person experiencing abuse, to know that everyone around you see this happening to you but no one's helping you, it has to be the most absolutely maddening thing to experience. And there's the characteristics of these men are very similar, and it doesn't matter how much money he has. These characteristics are the same, and they're considered as narcissistic abuse. And I can see these behaviors that Diddy has, and Derek Jackson, or whoever the Darren Jackson, whatever the Keke Palmer's baby daddy is. You could see the narcissistic abuse of them. You could see the controlling behaviors. You could see the way they talk about their partner, the way they try to control everything, the way they treat people. It it runs deep. You could see things in the surface area when I like to say, hindsight is 2020. When you think back on old videos and old conversations that people were having, and in knowing what you know now, you can now see it. When you are in an abusive relationship, you can't see it at first because you are in love with that person and you can't necessarily see the abuse that's happening. You just think, oh, we're just having, this is just a rough patch. Relationships go through rough patches all the time, and you end up getting stuck in this cycle of this abuse that he puts you in. He isolates you from your family, and he makes you feel lonely, and he makes you feel less than yourself. He mentally, emotionally abuse you until he starts physically abusing you. And it could take many, many, many years for you to actually realize this is happening to you. It could take many years for you to actually get out of it, and a lot of us don't survive it. And when it comes to Black women, every 4 to 6 hours in this country, we are taken out by femicide, and usually that is happening from our partners, our male counterparts. So it's a really big thing that's been happening. And with Cassie being a Black woman, it feels like it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, no matter what you look like, your body type, if you are the preference, you get treated the same. And I could only conclude is that they hate us, especially when you're a Black woman.
Wait, she black though?
Yeah, Cassie's a Black woman.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought she was like Spanish or something.
She's mixed of something, but she's a Black
Oh,
woman.
she's probably Miss Black. Yeah, I know what you mean. I got you. I didn't even realize that. I really did.
Right. Like, okay. You know why I say that they hate us in general? It doesn't matter what you look like, because you remember when that girl came out and said that Usher gave her an STD, gave her herpes or whatever, and everybody
Yeah,
was just like, "Oh, Usher would never have sex with a fat bitch like you." Da, 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 da. Like everybody was like really going at her because of
that's
the way
messed
she
up.
looked. But a beautiful woman like Cassie, who was basically, she was, again, she was employee of Diddy. She was a model for Baby Fat. She was doing all of these modeling and campaigns for him when it came to his businesses. His what was it? His cognac or whatever liquor that he was selling. What is it? The Diddy liquor vodka what he was selling?
Ciroc.
Yeah, Ciroc. She was like modeling. She was an employee. Not only were you employed by this man, all your money comes from this man, but he's also your boyfriend, and he is sexually, emotionally, physically, and financially abusing you. It's really hard to get out of that. And just because she's beautiful, it doesn't mean that it doesn't
Doesn't make it more true or
it
untrue
doesn't make
because
it more
all,
true
yeah.
or less true. Like
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes I get so confused about this. Like, why does it matter what you look like? Abuse is abuse. I've seen videos of girls saying that there is a pretty privilege, and we all know there's pretty privilege when it comes to like getting free stuff, getting drinks, getting free entry into things. Doors are open to you when you have pretty privilege. But there's also the dark side of it. Because of your pretty privilege and that you are able to enter in certain rooms, there's predators in those rooms, and those predators think that they're entitled to your body. So these girls who are beautiful, who are quote unquote these preferences, they get sexually harassed and raped and abused just as much as fat ugly girls.
Right. It doesn't change. Right.
It doesn't change. Especially when you are a big girl, nobody want to ever believe that you are raped. Like, how could anybody want to touch you? But you don't understand, predators are predatorial. It doesn't matter.
Right.
They
Shoot, man, there's
use their
men that'll rape an
power.
80-year-old woman. They don't give a
They
damn.
use their power and their penis to abuse you. So it's like it doesn't matter what you look like. So I feel like, again, if you're trying to find a reason why bad things happen to a woman and not look at the abuser, then you sympathize with the abuser and you are an abuser yourself. That's how I feel about you. And you need to grapple as to why you think that it's a woman's fault that a man abused her.
Because
So
women
yeah,
walk, shoot, in Africa, women walk around naked. They don't get raped just walking around naked. Just because of what they wearing should not matter. It's about the principle of the man.
it doesn't matter what you look like. There is a museum. I forgot where this museum is, but it's a museum filled with clothes of survivors of rape. It's clothes, and the whole museum is about what I was wearing when I got raped. It was women in hijabs, people in pajamas, baby clothes. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. If somebody wants to do these things, they're going to do it, and there's nothing you can do. And is again, it
And
is
that's
not
for
your
male,
fault.
female, anybody.
It is not your fault that it
Hmm.
happened. That it happened to you.
Yeah, but men get raped too.
There is a percentage of men who are getting raped, and it's low in the books, but we know it's much more
It
because men
happens,
are
yeah.
afraid to report
I think
these
they get
things.
raped more in jail.
Listen, all right,
I'm just saying, I think they get raped more in
guys,
jail.
get too.
They
Okay,
do. They
That's what
do.
we were saying, that it
Especially
happens
younger
to
guys, like young boys who think, oh, it's cool to be with an older woman. They get raped, okay?
public
Be with
service
no older
announcement.
woman.
Public service announcement. And this is very common, especially in the Caribbean community. You did not have sex at 7, 14, 4 years old. You didn't have sex with that grown woman. You were raped and
Right.
molested. I am so
Right.
sick and tired of these men talking about something, oh, they lost their virginity when they were 5. You do not lose your
Talking about,
virginity
yeah, I got
when
me an
you are
older woman.
5.
No, you
You
got
were molested and raped by a grown woman, and
yeah.
you need to grapple with that reality and get some help, because that is
But for
trauma.
guys, it's cool.
That is
Right.
trauma. It is not cool
They
to be
think it's
sexually
cool.
abused as a child just because you are a boy and it was a woman that did that to you. That woman is a predator and she should be in jail for
Right.
what she did to you.
Right.
You was a child
I
and there was
wish a
nobody there to
woman would do
protect
that to
you.
my son at that age.
There was no one
Man,
there to
I'll kill her.
protect you, and you should have been protected. And I'm sorry that happens to you.
Right, right, right. Because some of them would just look at it like, oh, I should be happy because it was an older woman, even though it might have traumatized them because they weren't ready for that. And they think they had to do it because they're a boy. And you know what I'm saying?
No
So it's
child
like,
is ever
it's
ready for sex.
confusing to some boys.
That's why there's a law of statute, not statute of limitation, of what is it called? Age of consent.
Mm-hmm.
There's an age of
Yeah.
consent, and if you're under 16, you can't consent. I feel like until you're 25, you can't really consent to a lot of things, because a
Right.
lot of things that we do in our 20s, if you look back in your 30s and 40s, you're like, God damn, how the fuck did I do that? Or how did I get
Right.
away with that? Or that was not okay. That shouldn't have happened to me.
Right. Like there's this one boy I knew who used to talk about that. He was like 7, and that happened to him when he was by an older woman who was,
Mm-hmm.
considerably he would consider hot. But he
Mm-hmm.
remembers how like it was just confusing to him, and he was uncomfortable and all that. And for a while, he thought it was cool too, but he started realizing how it kind of, it did traumatize him because it was just a lot of stuff he wasn't ready for or knew anything about that was just thrown at him by this grown ass woman that was in the family or something. So,
Let's
and
just be
she
honest.
would just come in and hunch on him and stuff all the time, and it was just very disturbing. I was like, yeah, you
Right. And
were
he was continuously being raped by a grown woman.
right,
So we need
right,
to be honest, men who have had all these experiences. And I'm speaking to you. Yes, you. If you have that experience in your life where as a child you were touched in any form of fashion by a grown person, you did not have sex, you did not lose your virginity, you was raped. And let's be real, a lot of these dudes who have these experiences have a history of hypersexuality, anger, and violence. And it's not because they're a bad person, it's because they were abused. And that is a reaction to trauma. It's just like when they want to say when a girl is a victim of rape or when she was molested as a child, all of a sudden she becomes hypersexual as an adult. That's a response to trauma. And you have that
Right.
same response. And you need help just as much as the girls need help. You need help too, sir. So, guys, this this conversation has been on my heart for a minute. Ever since I heard about what happened, I was just like, okay, finally we get to know what's really up. Because since as a kid, I've been hearing about the crazy stuff that Diddy been doing, and Keke and all the situations that's happening to women in relationships. And we are is this discourse that we are having now makes me feel like something is finally gonna get done about this. And for those who have experienced sexual abuse, sex trafficking, abuse in general. There's help out there. You got to do the research, look into your local state, your local county to get some resources to help you with the situation. The help is out there. You may feel alone. It may feel like no one understands. Nobody understands you. It's going to feel like that for a very long time, but understand you are not alone. It's happened to a lot of us, and we must work together to stop this from happening to us and get reparations for our pain. Well, that's it for the show, guys. Thank you so much for coming to Stir the Pot with Lucy Lou. I am so thankful for you guys. Please check us out on YouTube at vru.life. We have our show every Friday, and I am so happy to see you guys. And please leave a comment, like, share, save the world, do everything you got to do to make sure you are back next week for our next topic. Have a good night, guys.
We love you, Lucy.